What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have a radiator hose. The part came in for the Z. If you guys watched my last video, the lower radiator hose got ruptured at the track, so I wasn't able to make the last few laps, but I got in an amazing day of drifting, and I'm already just so happy being able to drive the Barbie 350Z again. And today I'm finally installing my BC Racing coilovers on the car. I've been excited for this for so long. We just kept not having enough time before different track days, and today is finally the day. My car has been so slammed since I got it. Even driving the Z around town, it's so low, and I'm really excited to get some really good suspension on the car, be able to get a lot more feedback from the car, especially when I'm still continuing to progress and drifting and learn. I'm just really stoked. So I'm gonna hurry up and get started, and that is what we're doing today. Also, I love that you guys keep tagging me on all your monster posts on Instagram, so keep them coming. Before we get to the coilover install, I wanted to share a quick message from my friends at throtl. You guys probably know them from building some awesome cars here on YouTube. Most recently, they've been building an insane 2008 WRX STI, and they're giving it away. It has a new EJ25 engine with ARP head studs. It's tuned at 333 horsepower with 370 foot-pounds of torque. It's wide-bodied with a custom 3-stage paint job, has a complete suspension overhaul, and so much more. Every $1 spent on throtl.com equals 1 entry, and sweepstakes ends on the 31st before midnight. Adam already bled the coolant, and now it's finally coilover time. And I got a special package from BC. Okay, so these are my new coilovers from BC Racing for the Barbie Z, and luckily we have our own in-house BC Racing expert over here.
I don't know if I'd call me that. I can help though. What do you want to know?
These are their drift spec, or what's recommended drift spec for a Z. I think this was based off of what you have on your car, or?
So coincidentally, here, can I say it? Originally, you would have to order these and you would have to specify drift spec, but now if you order BC's DS series, it's become so popular for Zs that they actually automatically send the drift spec, which is 5K rear, 12K front, I believe, digressive piston, and it's what we run on all our cars. And we kind of did a lot of the testing in the early days when me, Matt, and Taylor had Zs, and like, they're sick. Your car's gonna be good.
This is a special formula.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain what digressive piston is?
Yes, please do.
So traditionally you'd have like a linear damper and a shock, right? So the way that it absorbs the bumps apart from the spring, would be the same throughout the range. Now the digressive is like a little bit stiffer initially. So while you're driving around, you'll kind of have like stiffer turn-in with the same spring rate, where at high piston velocities, it kind of tapers off and has more of a linear damper up top. So you can kind of have the car feel stiff for good turn-in, for good transitions, but if you hit like a rumble strip or a curb, it won't feel like you're on rails. So because of that, a lot of people ask if it's better for like a street car as well, and it has a better ride, like a little bit more comfortable. But also for drifting, it's more responsive, but still good if you do hit a bump or something.
That's in the DS line only that comes with that type of piston, or what?
Correct, yes. The DS is their digressive series.
Okay.
So yeah, it used to be called, I think, DR, and they changed it to DS, but yeah, pretty much offered on every car now, and I recommend it every single time. So.
And did we ever figure out what's actually on my car?
You have Racelands. You have
Raceland?
The cream of the crop on your car right now.
Okay. Well, we're finally going to be taking those off, and maybe I'll just temporarily recycle them to the Vert in California. Everyone's giving me crap because it looks like I'm going off-roading. I still don't believe that's stock, but apparently it is. You said it's normally really high. You just normally always see Z's slammed.
Yeah, I don't
know.
So
it looks weird.
But yeah. you're gonna notice, like, when we put these on, when you go to drive the car, the thing you're gonna notice the most is you'll be able to kind of predict the car more.
Yeah.
You're like riding on rails right now, so I can see when you go to do an initiation, you kind of try to weight transfer. It doesn't really weight transfer because you don't really have anything going on with suspension. You're like kind of just riding around in cinder blocks right now.
Hey now.
The car still works great. You got the Kumo grip is making up for the lack of suspension that you have.
Yeah.
With these, you'll get a decent amount of travel, and the spring, like, it's gonna be a completely different car.
I'm super excited to get these on because I've been wanting to do that for a while now. There just hasn't been enough time because I feel like I keep having to rush to an event or track days. I don't want to lose out on any seat time, but now we have time. So I'm excited, and we could go driving. We're going driving in like less than a week right after I get these on, so I'll actually be able to test them out on track. But yes, today's the day.
It's gonna be, like, even just driving around, you're gonna be so pumped.
Are we gonna street test them?
I mean,
maybe.
I'm down.
If we go to Mexico?
Can I plug that I sell these?
Yeah.
If you want to buy these, hit us up at LZMFG. We have like a team that can help you as well if you want to figure out a custom spring rate for like a swapped car or something. But yeah, by far the most popular coilover we sell as well. Like, DS series are on a lot of Z's out there.
And just summarizing this specifically, so is drift spec with the spring rates, the 12 and the 5, that's a normal spec, or is that what you prefer?
So it used to be where the DS series came with a slightly different shock and spring, and you used to have to specify drift spec, but now the DS series basically comes in drift spec because it's so good for pretty much, because 90% of the people are ordering the drift spec, that's just how they come.
Yeah.
The only way that they wouldn't come like that is if you specified extreme low, where the shock would be a bit smaller and things change for the people that want to like slam their car. But I think what we're going to do on your car, which will be interesting and good for the people to know, we're going to install them fully slammed because people always want to know what's the max low they can go on a setup. So we'll spin this all the way down, we'll bottom the shock out as low as it can possibly go. So that way when you install it, I think it's still going to be about the same height, if not a little bit higher than you are right now, but it's really good info for like people to know.
And then adjust from there?
Yeah, and then we can go up from there rather than starting too high, going down, going down, going down. We'll just start max low.
Awesome. Yeah. Yay. These are pretty rough. And here are the new ones. I'm working on this side of the car and Adam's working on the other. I do feel bad with how low it is though. Are you sure you don't want me to go up?
We're going all the way down. Don't mess with preload. Leave the preload how it is.
Okay.
It just throws it in the shock body. And we're gonna go all the way down. See where this thing bottoms out. Feels like about there. The difference with extreme low is it doesn't have as long of a shock and you lose suspension travel, which is good on a drift car, but bad if you want to be slammed hot boy.
Yeah.
So this will be max low in the front. I'm curious how it'll compare to your Racelands that you had in there.
And we'll just adjust from there.
Okay, we can just go up.
Okay.
So these at max low are about the same as your race lands, but they'll probably compress a little bit more. If you want me to not go all the way down in the front, we can, but I say we just leave it all the way down for now, and we just go up. It is possible too. I don't know what spring rate the race lands come with.
Does it say on there?
I don't think so. But for all we know, the BCs could be a little bit stiffer in front, because stiff in the front's actually a good thing for drifting. Gives you a little bit better like turn in, and kind of low jacks the rear a little bit better.
Okay, we'll start there. I need to bottom out the other one then first. Camera battery changes are so annoying when you're so dirty. So we're done with the front, moving to the back. This car has already been converted to true coilover style, which I don't know the process to do that, but I'm gonna have to find out on the Vert because that is completely stock still. But this one already had the other suspension on it, so that's been done before. However, we are gonna have to cut for the adjusters to come through. And Adam's gonna show me where.
More than 10 pounds.
So where are we gonna have to cut up my car? Ooh. It won't just go through one of those? Oh no, it's too thick.
I'm trying to mentally remember. I just know on mine, I like didn't drill one of these holes out and tried to like stick it through, and it was too tight. So we'll want to like drill these bigger, and then you just kind of drill another hole through this. So what we can do is not worry about this till last, and then just figure out where when we go up from the bottom, if it naturally comes through any of these holes.
Oh, you don't have to drill off the hole anymore? Probably not if this piece comes off.
I don't think you have to, but the problem is I think it puts it at a weird angle, and they like fall apart because of it, because that's what happened on mine. So we might want to do it like just drill a hole so it comes up straight. I just forget where it falls.
Okay.
It'll be obvious once we pull the coil out. It'll like naturally go in one area.
Okay.
That's when like an hour job turns into a 4-hour thing.
We had a really hard time getting the nut off the inside here. It was really hard to get a socket completely straight because you ended up hitting the spring right here. So I'm pretty sure this is way thicker than the new BC one. Even looking at it like off of the car, I feel like we're gonna actually have the clearance with the BC Racing setup. Versus over here, you barely have the clearance to get a socket extension or anything on there straight without it being at an angle. So luckily we got it off, but that was a little sketch. Adam already bottomed out the rear coilovers, and we found out that this was the bolt that was being used. So that's wrong. It's a super dinky, skinny one, and it was rusted a lot. So had a little bit of a hard time getting it out, but luckily we might have some extra suspension bolts lying around from the Mustang. Rip. The Mustang is no longer in need of this bolt, so I think I'm going to steal it. Thanks. Actually, no, I don't want any part of that car. Wait, what am I thinking? I don't want any of that. That's bad juju. Never mind. I thought that was like a funny thing, but I don't want any part of that car on here.
See if it's the right length.
Maybe.
That'll work, and we have
Okay, sweet.
another one that matches it. See, that's the same thread.
Awesome. Thank you, Alberto. What's the struggle?
I'm spinning the whole bushing.
What? No.
Yeah,
don't
look.
say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
He
No.
always does.
I don't have any new ones though.
Boy, it'll loosen it.
Ugh. That's bad.
Yeah. Look on this side. Look on this side.
Those have the auto parts still?
Oh no. Okay, so I did call and there is one that's like 5 miles away. Luckily there was one store that was nearby that had it and they only had one left. It's out! There was some tutting involved, but finally this is out. So I guess the issue was that the bolt that was in there got kind of fused to this, and when I tried taking it out, it just ripped the entire bushing out. So like I said, luckily there was a place that had one in stock and we grabbed it so we can finish everything. Also, if you looked at the spring, so the reason why we were having some clearance issues on the other one, look at the different sizes of the spring. So this is so much wider, so it was really hard to get like a socket straight on the nut here to get it off, because the socket would be hitting right here and you'd be slightly like tilted out, which made it really easy to round off. But then if you look at the size of the BC Racing spring, it's a lot smaller in diameter, so you're not going to have that issue here. You can get a socket like completely flat on. Oh yeah, that is pleasing.
It's pleasant going in.
Oh yeah.
There we go. This angle was requested by Alberto himself.
There. Yeah, you get to see my point of view.
Yes, thank you. Now we can continue. That was really annoying, but now we got a new one in there, so. It is storming again in Florida. I feel like it's been raining all day, every day since I've been back. Back to this, we can now finish fully installing the coilovers on the rear. There is a spot that we're gonna have to drill out on the top here though for the adjuster to come through. So you already did this on your Z, and are we gonna have to drill a new hole, or can we just like tap out one that's already there?
So let me explain first. So what you're asking about is for
The adjuster on the top.
the remote adjustment for the BC, so you can change your damping on the fly without having to go underneath the car. Basically, you're gonna need to cut or drill in order to get it up here because there's no like direct access hole. What I tried to do in my car that didn't really work that well is utilize this hole, and the problem is it puts it at too much of an angle, so while you're trying to adjust, it's like snaked like this,
yeah.
and it just gets mad. So
But you use the bigger one?
yeah, because this one's a little too small. What we're gonna do, since this one's a little bit more centralized, it's actually gonna be right over the coilover. And then the cool thing about that, it actually lines up with a clip that goes in the trim right there. So what you can do is you can take this and use this as a guide to know exactly where you need to drill the hole, because it's kind of like a tricky thing to figure out. We have a nice hole, and then when we put it in,
Hey, watch the drink, bro.
you and the natter days go out.
That's yours. That is yours.
All right. So anyway, then when we put it in, it's like perfect. And what we can do is we can go up from the bottom, or we can go down from the top, and just drop this in, and then just retighten it with this little Allen right here.
Sweet. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, there might even be a better way to do this. It's not like the most complicated thing in the world, but it's just what I did on my car and it worked. It's always nice to leave the BC logo facing out. I guess it doesn't matter, but
OCD things. So then we'll just kind of insert it up into the adjuster knob and then just tighten it on up here. You could do it and go from the, like, try to like fish this to the top, like have it installed on the coilover first, and like it arguably might be easier, but it's kind of hard to get it in the right spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's tight on there now. And that's so nice with the new bushing. I'm so jealous. Just like that, we're done. All you gotta do is tighten. So the other trick here, now this part looks kind of tricky, right? Because here's the problem. When you loosen it, you need to have this much excess on the top in order to put the knob. So if you just cut it, then you don't have the excess. So it seems like common sense, but I was excited
Lean
about it.
that little bit.
Yeah, so what I do is I just slide it up to where it's kind of flush with the top. And then when I cut it, then I can push this down, then I have a little bit hanging right there. That's perfect.
Awesome.
Just to be fully transparent as well, in exchange for doing these 3 bolts and the strut top things, she did buy me Vietnamese food. So I just want to be completely transparent.
Wow.
I don't want this to look like I'm doing any sort of favors or going out of my way to help you.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
It was a fair exchange of pho for me to finish off the rear for her. Were you about to make some sort of weird joke about finishing off your rear end?
No.
I was like, it wasn't the best setup. I probably could set you up better.
Yeah.
I'll just say, whoops, I dinged your wheel. But guess what?
Hey, they're not mine.
When are you gonna get your own wheels, Colette?
I don't know, everyone keeps asking me the same thing. And now you're gonna ask me too?
Yeah.
Wow.
It just bothers me that they're not knee and yellow like everything else.
Hey, I respect that. Let's see it. Is she slammed? Boom.
Probably raise her about 1 inch.
Yeah, probably at least.
So I said we leave this. Let's raise the front about 1 inch and see how it stands.
At least, right? Because this is like super slammed.
I say we just match the rear, like in terms of gap. One thickness from here to here. You can snug this down. Look, your car is travel now. Dude, you're gonna notice the difference like right away. I know you don't believe me, but
We'll see.
the second you pull out of the parking lot, you're like, whoa, I don't feel the bumps.
Well, actually, yeah, it actually moves now. I guess it was pretty bad, but I just got used to it. That's all I've been drifting on. That's exciting.
I've never seen someone so excited about having suspension travel. Go try it on the rear.
Because I haven't had it.
Try the rear. You're playing with 12Ks. In front you got 5s.
Yeah.
Put some weight on that.
Damn.
Wait till you feel it when you go to do weight transfer before you enter. Yo, it sounds sick now!
It's hard to completely tell because it's wet out, but it just feels a lot like grippier and planted, and then I'm not like wincing every time I go over a bump. It still is pretty low, but I feel like, do your cars bottom out like on the speed bumps over there?
Depends on the car, you know?
Yeah, definitely night and day from before. Excited for the next event now.